जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिधरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिधरधारी। यशोदनंदन ब्रजजन रंजन यामुना तीरवनचारि। यशोदनंदन ब्रजजन रंजन यामुना तीरवनचारि। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदनंदन यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदनंदन यामुना तीरवनचारि। यामुना जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यामुना तीरवनचारि। यामुना तीरवनचारि। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। युग धर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च। श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नम ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानंद माधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं। हरि ओम तत्सत। Hare Krishna. So I'm very happy to be here today amidst all of you. Very happy that I'm able to get an opportunity to glorify Krishna, though not qualified. In the first canto of Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada writes, until one knows all the various kinds of philosophies, the 6 different kinds of philosophies, one is not qualified to sit on the Vyasasana. But because Srila Prabhupada has presented all these Shad-darshan in a nice summary, and because we are sincerely trying to follow what Srila Prabhupada is saying, at least trying to follow. So therefore, on the order of Lord Chaitanya, on the order of Srila Prabhupada, I am daring to sit on the Vyasasana. Speaking about Vyasasana, on the Vyasasana one should speak the scriptures, speak from the Shastra. Very recently I was studying Srimad Bhagavatam with some devotees, and an inquiry came that Prabhu, we are talking about love of God, that is the goal of life. We are talking about Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prema. We are conditioned souls. We have never tasted love of God or don't have a pinch of it also. Should we really speak about it, or should we be humble and just avoid the topic? So we were all discussing what should be done, and then some references were given. And the ultimate conclusion of that discussion was that in all circumstances we have to repeat the words of the Acharya. We have to repeat what Srila Prabhupada has said. We personally should not have any doubt in the scriptures, and we should present the scriptures as it is, the Bhagavad Gita as it is, Bhagavatam as it is, for the consideration of the people of the society. A very nice pastime comes to my mind when I talk about Shastra, especially when we read this Krishna Leela and Krishna's pastimes. When Krishna had appeared, there is some nice description given. Let me just take you to it. So when Krishna appears, many environmental changes happen. So if somebody will read all that, they will say, wow, it is so nice, Vrindavan is so nice. See, the description is here. When Krishna appears, thereafter at the auspicious time for the appearance of the Lord, the entire universe was surcharged with all qualities of goodness, beauty and peace. The constellation Rohini appeared, as did the stars like Ashwini. The sun, the moon and the other stars and planets were very peaceful. All directions appeared extremely pleasing, and the beautiful stars twinkled in the cloudless sky. Decorated with towns, villages, mines and pasturing grounds, the earth seemed all auspicious. The rivers flowed with clear water, and the lakes and vast reservoirs were full of lilies and lotuses of various kinds, and were looking extraordinarily beautiful. In the trees and green plants, full of flowers and leaves, pleasing to the eyes, birds like cuckoos and swarms of bees began chanting with sweet voices for the sake of the demigods. A pure breeze began to blow, pleasing the sense of touch and bearing the aroma of the flowers. And when the Brahmanas engaging in ritualistic ceremonies ignited their fires, according to the Vedic principles, the fires burned steadily, undisturbed by the breeze. Thus, when the birthless Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was about to appear, the saints and the Brahmanas, who had always been disturbed by demons like Kamsa and his men, felt peace within the core of their hearts, and the kettle drums simultaneously vibrated from the upper planetary systems. This is just one description. There is a lot more. So when we hear such descriptions from the Shastra, sometimes it sounds very incredible or unbelievable. Sometimes for the conditioned soul who has seen so much garbage in Kali Yuga, Kalera dosha nidhe rajan, asti he ko mahan guna, all that we see is garbage. So for the Kali Yuga living entities, it is sometimes very difficult to believe. But we should not have any doubt in the scriptures. This reminds me of a pastime. I heard this from one priest in Guruvayur temple. So he was telling me that when Parikshit Maharaj had been killed, or rather not killed, when Parikshit Maharaj quit his body, Janmashtami, the son of Maharaj Parikshit, became very angry with the snake species. So he decided to do a yajna in which he would chant some mantras and force all the snakes to come and get burnt, incinerated. It's not an ordinary thing to do, killing the entire species. He almost killed the entire species, but then due to the intervention of Lord Brahma, he stopped. But what he did was very sinful. So as a result of that, Janmashtami, the son of Maharaj Parikshit, got afflicted with leprosy and other diseases in the body. So at that time, Kripacharya and others, they instructed him that you please go and take shelter of Lord Mukunda in Guruvayur temple. So at that time he went, and the king of the whole world was staying in Guruvayur temple. He was eating the prasadam which was offered there. He was attending each and every arti. He was doing some menial service. And the tirtha, or the pond which is there, he was having bath there every day. Attending full day programs, hearing Bhagavatam. So one day, Bhagavatam class was going on in Guruvayur temple. So the Bhagavatam speaker was telling the pastimes of Krishna and some pastimes related to Mahabharata also. So he was describing the war between Duryodhana and Bhima, not the final war, an earlier war. So he was telling that Duryodhana sent so many elephants towards Bhima to stop the progress of Bhima towards him. And Bhima, being a strong personality, he was slapping the elephants were falling down left and right. Some of the elephants he was catching by the trunk and throwing in the air. And Bhima was so strong that some of the elephants which he threw went so high that they are still about to fall down. Till now they are not fallen down. So when he said this, Janmajaya, just like you people are laughing, he also laughed and he said, "Thoda zyada ho gaya. You have gone in ecstasy. You should speak from the Shastra, but you should not over-exaggerate also." But he said, "No, I am speaking from the Shastra. And this is what I have heard from my superiors." He said, this is not possible, For 30 years ago, somebody sent through an elephant and it is still falling down. I don't believe it. As soon as Maharaj Janmajaya said that, immediately one big elephant fell down in the Bhagavatam class. Just to prove that one should not doubt what they have heard in Guru Parampara, one should not doubt on the scriptures. No matter how much incredible or unbelievable it may appear, one should not doubt it. Not even a word of the scriptures should be doubted. So therefore, when we read this Krishna Leela, everything looks very incredible. It looks like we are in some kind of dreamland or something, but it is the truth. This is history. And everything has been verified and written down by the most truthful personality, Vyasadeva. So on that note, I would like to begin today's discussion. Today we will discuss the advent of Krishna and the birth of Krishna also. The activities which happened during or before the birth of Krishna, how the whole atmosphere was being prepared, what incidents were happening in the lives of the devotees, how their consciousness was being prepared, and ultimately when Krishna comes, then what happens. So I'm going to summarize chapter 1, 2 and 3 of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Every discussion has a theme. The theme of today's discussion is something which I heard today in Srila Prabhupada's lecture. Srila Prabhupada says, a devotee is not eager to be freed from distress, but he is anxious to see Krishna. Did you understand? A devotee is not eager to be freed from distress, but he is anxious to see Krishna. So when I heard this, I was thinking this is the appropriate meditation which we should have for Janmashtami. And this is the appropriate mood which all the devotees had when Krishna was about to advent. They were literally ready to pay any price for getting the darshan of Krishna, especially Devaki and Vasudeva. When I went last time to Mathura, I went to the jail where Krishna had appeared, and I also saw the rock, the very notorious, very famous rock on which Kamsa had smashed 6 newborn babies. A baby is this small, and sometimes, if you handle the legs, it's so soft that I don't know what will happen. Maybe the leg will also come out. They are so soft. And Kamsa had smashed 6 babies on that rock. When I was discussing this yesterday with some other devotees, they asked me this question, that if Kamsa was so bad, he could go to any extent, why did Vasudeva and Devaki bear children only? They should have just not given birth to any children, no problem only would have happened. Is it easy to do this? You give birth to a child and the child is smashed on the rocks in front of you. How many of you have the guts to give birth to another child knowing that the same destiny is there of the next child also? Nobody, none of us can do that. So therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam says, Kim dusaham nu sadhunam vidusham kim apekshitam kim akaryam kadaryanam dustyajam kim dhritatmanam. What is painful for saintly persons who strictly want to adhere to the truth? How could there not be independence for pure devotees who know Supreme Lord as the only substance? And what deeds are forbidden for the persons in the lowest of character, like Kamsa? And what cannot be given up by them? No, and what cannot be given up for the sake of Lord Krishna by those who have fully surrendered to his lotus feet? Vasudev was a loving father. How could he do this? How could he allow the murder of his own children? That is something which we should try to understand if we really want to understand the advent of Lord Krishna. So here is a kartal. The main purpose of this kartal is to be played in kirtan. Other than this purpose, let's do a small activity. Which are the other ways, good and bad, in which you can use this kartal? Top meaning? You can, okay, somebody please don't note down, but you can throw it like a lattu and it'll, you can, okay, this one, you can use it as a lattu toy. Anything else?
Paperweight.
Sorry?
Paperweight.
Paperweight? You can use it as a paperweight. Amazing, man. This intelligence is very nice. Anything else? Something from the Mataji's side? Other than in kirtan, in which other way we can use this kartal? Matajis are like, we don't know any other purpose. Glass, pani hai, pani ko, that's what you meant. That's what you meant. See, it's coming out. ग्लास में पानी रखने के बाद उसको कवर कर दिया ताकि उसमें मक्खी ना गिरे. वेरी गुड. एनीथिंग एल्स? Let me try that. It's cool also. It's cooling my ears also. Yeah, you can cup your ears with it. Tell me the real usage which everybody is thinking in their mind. Sorry? Matajis are coming up with that reason. We can use it to beat someone. Any other reason? And that Matajis have already done that. If you have some cows and if you want to know where they are, उनके गले में बांध दो. It will be an identification. You'll come to know where they are. Any other reason?
Use it as a frisbee.
Frisbee. You go on the Kannmangala lake and throw it. It will bounce on the water, and then it will reach the other end. Any other usage? I'm trying to make a point. That's why I'm asking all this. Yeah, some game you can play. See, our mind can come up with so many useless engagements for this kartal. But essentially, this kartal is only meant for, this is the expansion of Lord Balram, and it is only meant to be assisting in kirtan. That's the ideal use. But there are so many non-ideal uses of this kartal also. So similarly, Krishna has given us, all of us, some eyes. The bona fide use of the eyes is to see Krishna. So therefore, the Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Krishna avalokan bina phala nahiyan, jai jana Krishna dekhe sai bhagyavan. The ultimate purpose of having the eyes is achieved only when you take darshan of Krishna. If you have not taken darshan of Krishna, then your eyes are wasted. What are the eyes meant for? To see a dead body? Because everybody is going to die one day. What are the eyes meant for? For seeing something horrible? For seeing faults in others? Krishna avalokan bina phala nahiyan, jai jana Krishna dekhe sai bhagwan. And one who has seen Krishna is the most fortunate person. Devaki and Vasudev knew this simple truth, that our eyes are meant for taking darshan of Krishna. And this is the consummation of having eyes. This is the ultimate purpose of having eyes. This is the best thing which you can do with your eyes. Do you think you can get it just like that? You will not have to pay a price for it? See, all of us are very eager to take darshan of Krishna. I want to see Krishna. But very few of us are ready to pay the price to see Krishna. To see Krishna, one needs to be qualified. So, that sacrifice Vasudeva and Devaki were ready to make. Vasudev, little bit rewind, Vasudev, Devaki are sitting on the chariot where Kamsa is taking them, escorting them to the house of Vasudev. And all the demigods, they have gone earlier, little bit more back, what do you call it? Rewind. Little bit more rewind. The demigods are fully disturbed by the influence of Kamsa. Kamsa was such a great villain that he had literally devastated everything. All the demons whom we read in Krishna book have actually been the slaves of Kamsa. Kamsa had made Narad Muni his advisor, and every day he used to ask, what can I do to rule the whole planet? What can I do to become the biggest king? So Narad Muni used to say, you go and defeat Aghasur. Okay, now you go and defeat Bakasur. After that you go and defeat Trinavarth. Then you defeat these 5 princes, Shal, Toshal, Koot, all the 6 wrestlers. And like that he was defeating day and night different people. One day Putana came, he said, I don't fight with women. He didn't fight also with Putana, like that only she surrendered. So Kamsa used to fight with demigods and used to defeat the demigods also, and they were all afraid to fight with Kamsa. To such an extent, he got so much puffed up that he went to Mahendra Parvat and started lifting the Mahendra Parvat on which Parshuram was sitting. So Parshuram became very angry and he said, my dear mosquito, I am going to kill you now. I have already rid the earth 21 times from the Kshatriyas. Let me start again. So Kamsa realized this is serious. Then he said, I am not a Kshatriya, I am the son of a demon. Don't kill me. He said, okay, fine. And then he asked for a benediction. Parshuram gave him a bow, which was the Vishnu Dhanush. And he said that you have this bow with you, and the one who breaks this bow will be your killer. So that's the background of Kamsa. So all the demigods are fully disturbed. They have gone with Mother Earth to Lord Vishnu along with Brahma praying. And Lord Krishna has told, let's see, I'm going to appear. All the demigods should take birth, assist me in my pastimes. And I will get rid, I'll free the burden of the earth by killing Kamsa and other people like Jarasandha and others. Little bit fast forward. Vasudev, Devaki, Kamsa, there so much family love time is going on. And the Devatas, they are getting disturbed. That Krishna is meant to kill Kamsa, and Kamsa has so much love for Devaki and Vasudev. In this situation, even if the Lord appears in such a loving environment, how will he be able to kill? We should do something. So at that time, the Devatas, they introduced an Akashvani. You idiot Kamsa. You don't know that the 8th progeny of the same sister whom you are very nicely, lovingly carrying in your chariot is going to be the reason of your death, going to kill you. At that moment only all love disappeared. Immediately Kamsa grabbed the hair of Devaki, took out his sword, and he brought the sword near the neck of Devaki and was about to kill. But that time Vasudeva intervened. Vasudeva first tried to talk to Kamsa in a gentleman way. He was saying that, see, you are the son of a great king. In Vedic Dharma, five categories of living entities have to be protected: the old people, the children, the cow, the women, and the brahmanas. How can you kill a woman? That to your own sister, on the day of marriage. If you do this, politically you will be rejected by the whole world. Because nobody will accept a king who is the murderer of his own sister. But Kamsa was not listening only. So all reason and logic, when it failed, Vasudev, this is called Kamsa Vasudev Samvad, Vasudev started to do something which is the last resort. He started praising Kamsa. Now demons, their ears open when you praise them. Many people are appreciating this point. This is very, something not foreign to all of us at least. Chapter 16, Divine and Demoniac Natures. Krishna says both are chabhijatasya. One is born with these divine or demoniac natures. So when we read that demoniac natures, we are like, I have all these demoniac qualities. So Kamsa, when Vasudeva started glorifying him, his ears opened and then he started hearing. And then he stood for some time with the sword and he's like, continue. So Vasudeva glorified him, and then after that he promised him that don't worry. If the child of Devaki is the cause of your death, I will bring all the children to you, and then you can decide what to do with every child. Don't kill your sister. Now Vasudeva, who's also known as Anak Dundubhi, was so famous for being righteous and true to his words that even a demon believed his words. Even demons, thugs, and ruffians have faith in the word of a devotee. Dhira dhira jana priya priya karo nirmat sarau pujito. This is also told about the 6 Goswamis. When they used to reside in Vrindavan, today is the disappearance day of Srila Sanatan Goswami Prabhupada. Srila Sanatan Goswami Prabhupada has glorified Bhagavatam in a very nice way. Madek bandho mat sangin madguru man mahadhana मन निस्तारक मद भाग्य मद आनंद नमोस्तुते. Srila Sanatan Goswami Prabhupada says, Madek bandhu mat sangin. Srimad Bhagavatam, you are my only friend, you are my only companion. Mad guru man mahadhana. You are my spiritual master and you are my only wealth, the greatest wealth. Man nistaraka mad bhagya. You are my deliverer and you are my destiny. Mad ananda namostute. You are my only happiness and I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. So therefore we should also become lovers of Bhagavatam like Sanatan Goswami Prabhupada. Sanatan Goswami was a great personality. All the people in Vrindavan used to regard Sanatan Goswami as their spiritual master. Therefore, when he disappeared, everybody in Vrindavan had shaved their head. That today my Guru has died. That was the influence of Sanatan Goswami. If I am not wrong, this is the disappearance day of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj also. So, it's a very nice discussion which we are having today. So Sanatan Goswami, Rup Goswami, when they used to reside in Vrindavan, everybody used to go and take their guidance. Not only the people who are devotees of Krishna, who are gentlemen in behavior, even the thugs and the thieves and the dacoits used to go and consult. Why? Because they were nirmat sarau. They had no enviousness in their heart. And even the thieves and the thugs of Vrindavan used to understand, and even the gentlemen of Vrindavan used to understand. That was the glory of Sanatan Goswami. A similar character was seen in Vasudeva. So Kamsa, being a demon, understood the non-envious nature of Vasudeva and trusted his words, and then released Devaki, did not kill her. But now, the time has come when Vasudeva and Devaki have given birth to their first child. With great love and affection, the child has been named as Kirtiman. Even before Devaki could feed the child, Vasudeva said, no, it has to be handed over to Kamsa. And with great care, affection, and remembering the promise which he had made. Remembering that this is my duty and I need to do it, and only when I do my duty, this will ultimately lead to the descent of Krishna. So he went to Kamsa, and Kamsa, seeing the non-envious nature of Vasudeva, seeing the sadhu nature of Vasudeva, his heart melted. First child, and he has brought the child here to be killed. The heart of the demon Kamsa also changed. He said, see, according to the prophecy, according to Akashvani, I am having danger from your 8th child, not from your first child. So take it back, no problem. Vasudeva didn't believe in the words of Kamsa, but still he followed his instructions. He went back, but he knew that his mind can change any time. At that time, something very beautiful happened. It is so beautiful that 99% of us will fail to perceive its beauty. That beautiful incident is Narad Muni comes and discusses something with Kamsa. Narad Muni comes with a heavenly lotus flower in his hand and shows, my dear Kamsa, which is the 8th petal and which is the first petal. Kamsa said, this is the first petal, this is the 8th petal. But Narad Muni said, no, if I count from here, this is the first petal and this is the 8th petal. So you never know how the celestial counting is done. The demigods may cheat you. They may say, oh, according to our counting, the first son was the 8th son. Or they may say the 5th son was the 8th son. So therefore, don't take chances. Kill each and every one. Kamsa felt very relieved after getting this good advice from Narad Muni. Now somebody can misunderstand the whole situation here. Narad Muni, the transcendental spaceman, who is called as the Jagat Guru, who is the original spiritual master of our Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara also, seems like he did a very heinous task. Where demons have mercy, great spiritual masters like Narada have no mercy. Looks like this. But that is not the case. See, everything is destined. Acharyas give various reasons why Narad Muni did this. The first reason which Acharyas give is to accelerate the descent of Krishna. Narad Muni did this. Suppose if Devaki would have had got first child, my dear child, very nice, beautiful, and then the child will grow up when he will become 4, 5 years old, 6 years old, then maybe next child. And then Dwapar Yuga, the lifespan of people was more than 1000 years. So it could have taken 300, 400 years to come to the 7th child. So Narad Muni wanted to accelerate the descent of Krishna. This is the first reason. The second reason is he wanted to give happiness to the demigods, because they were very anxious to receive Krishna. Sometimes we misunderstand the demigods and their position. Especially there is an Iskcon syndrome where devotees disrespect demigods. They do not understand who these demigods are. Of course, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and we have to exclusively worship Krishna and surrender to Krishna, but demigods are not ordinary people. Whenever and wherever, yada, the Supreme Lord appears, he orders the demigods to take birth and take part in his pastimes. So these are the same people who take part in all the pastimes of Vishnu Tattva. How many of you would like to take part in the pastimes of Krishna? Very few are raising hand. Others are like, Rehne do. That is the goal of our life. Srila Prabhupada says the goal of our life is to enter the dancing party of Radha and Krishna. Demigods are already doing that. They participate in the pastimes of Krishna. Apart from that, demigods, they are very, very obedient. Remember that incident of Kayadhu being dragged by the demigods when she is heavily pregnant with Prahlad. Not heavily, but pregnant with Prahlad. At that time, the demigods are in great anger. They have burnt the whole capital of Hiranyakashipu. They have killed everybody. Bloodshed is all around. At that time, Narad Muni descends and he says, don't take this woman. She is having a great devotee in her womb. Immediately they give up all anger, they release Kayadhu, they beg forgiveness from her and they circumambulate her and go back. This is called obedience to higher authorities. The demigods are extremely obedient and loyal to their spiritual masters and the Supreme Lord. They may have some material desires, but what do we have? Spiritual desires. And after that, you see all these demigods, whenever they see a devotee of Krishna, they give all the help. They do everything which they can to help a devotee progress in Krishna consciousness. So don't these demigods deserve our respect? Yes or no?
Yes.
Next time when you see Indra, Chandra, Varuna, what will you do? Hey Indra, you are like gone case man. No, we should, they are senior devotees, they deserve our respect. And with some very good intention, they did that Akashvani, which led to the change of behavior of Kamsa. So now, coming back, Vasudev is taking back, and Narad Muni has tried to give happiness to the demigods by accelerating the descent of Krishna. And Vasudeva and Devaki were also very eager to see Krishna. So therefore, one after another, the 6 children of Vasudeva were smashed on the rock. And this is destiny. This was destined. Now I will take this reason, this destiny, to explain how, and to discuss some more lessons to learn. So this destiny begins with Lord Brahma creating. Lord Brahma creates everybody through his mental strength. The whole body of Brahma is made out of intelligence. Our body is made out of earth, water, fire, air, ether. And since we are on earth planet, the earth element is more on us. Had we been on the sun planet, the fire element would have been more on us. So Lord Brahma, in the topmost planet of this material world, his whole body is made out of intelligence. Can you imagine that? You cannot even imagine that. So by the power of his divine intelligence, which is completely focused on Krishna, he has given birth to various personalities like the 4 Kumaras and others. So he gave birth to Vagdevi. For a brief moment, he got attracted to his own creation. Now, technically speaking, if I have created, I cannot create anything by the way, but technically if I have created, let's say, some device or something, I'll say this is my brainchild or this is my baby project or something. So people said this Mataji who has come out, this is your child, literally, your project. You got attracted to, you're running behind her. There were 6 sons of Marichi who were holding their belly and laughing at Brahma. You useless fellow. Neither in the previous days have we heard, neither we have seen in any scriptural that, never we have heard that Brahma running behind her own daughter. Now Brahma, immediately when he understood what has happened, he gave up that idea. So Bhagavatam says he gave up the body, because his body is made out of intelligence. He gave up that body and then refreshed his mind and intelligence. The Supreme Personality of Godhead was using Brahma to teach a lesson to all of us. He was teaching that even when we are engaged in the service of the Lord, if our consciousness is not to please Krishna, even for a moment, if it gets diverted, it is dangerous. And he was giving a lesson to everybody. Daivi hi esha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. Everybody, including Brahma and Shiva, they have to take shelter of me. My Maya Shakti, until unless you surrender only to me, you will be bewildered. Even Brahma and Shiva are not free of it. He wanted to teach that lesson to everybody, but these idiot sons of Marichi, who didn't have the adhikar to laugh on a senior, they started laughing. As a result of which, they took birth in the demoniac family of Hiranyakashipu. They took birth as the sons of a demon called Kalanemi. And while they were the somehow related, I don't know what was the exact relation, maybe the grandchildren of Hiranyakashipu or something. They did some mistake, they did something without taking permission of Hiranyakashipu, so Hiranyakashipu cursed them that you will be killed by your own father. So they died, and in the next birth, these 6 sons of Marichi, who next took birth as the 6 children in the family of Hiranyakashipu, sons of Kalnemi, they took birth as the first 6 sons of Devaki, and Kalanemi, the demon, took birth as Kamsa, who was their father in previous birth, and he was destined to kill them. So why to blame Narad Muni, why to blame the demigods, why to blame anybody? This was destiny. Also, another angle which the Acharyas present, that Krishna wanted to display or show the systematic or methodical nature of bhakti by giving birth to these 6 children to Devaki first. These 6 children of Devaki symbolically represented Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada and Matsarya. Lust, anger, greed, illusion, enviousness and attachments. Krishna is trying to symbolically explain to all of us that sense gratification and Krishna consciousness go ill together. One cannot be a sense gratifier as well as Krishna conscious. Service attitude will come only when we give up sense gratification. Service attitude is sheltered at the lotus feet of spiritual master. So in many ways, service attitude comes by being surrendered to the spiritual masters. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. So when somebody is able to understand the evil existence of lust, anger, greed, enviousness, others in their heart, and is willing to take shelter of Krishna and Guru, then only Guru comes in your life. So one has to give up lust, anger, greed, illusion, enviousness and attachments. Or at least one has to start that journey and then pray to Krishna that please reveal to me who is my spiritual master. Take to me, give me your pure devotees in my life who can help me. So that was the symbolic meaning of the first 6 sons coming and being thrashed on the stone. And then when the lust, anger, greed, illusion, enviousness and attachments have died, then comes Guru, that is Balram. Balram represents service attitude. Krishna is the most attractive personality of Godhead. He is called as Akarshan. And Balaram is called Sankarshana. So, Akarshan will attract everybody towards himself. Once Srimati Radharani was asked that how do I find Krishna in Vrindavan? Srimati Radharani said that go to a place where everybody is looking at only one person. That means Krishna is there, and that person is Krishna. Any place in Vraja where all eyes are on one person, that is Krishna. So that is Akarshan. Krishna is the supreme attractive personality. He is so attractive that even people like Duryodhana and Dushasan were attracted to him. But they did not follow him due to enviousness. The Mahabharata says that when Krishna went as peace messenger and when he was giving his reasonings, he was so convincing that Dushasan got fully convinced that Mahabharata should not be done or the war should not happen. And he in front of everybody started fighting with Duryodhana that you are an evil person. You should not do this. Then Duryodhana took Dushasan on the side that this Keshava is very convincing. You should not get bewildered. I am your elder brother. You should always support me. Don't listen to Krishna. Like that, he had to again brainwash him. That is the influence of Krishna. He is so attractive. And Balram is Sankarshan. Balram's job is to bring everybody, attract everybody, and bring them in the shelter of Krishna as servants of Krishna. So Krishna is Akarshan, and Balram has the potency of bringing everybody together in the lotus feet of Krishna, Sankarshana. The Sankarshan was about to appear in the womb of Devaki. Devaki could feel that the supreme personality of Godhead is here. She could feel that, the divine presence of Balram. But then something very unusual had to happen. Krishna calls his Maya Shakti and he orders her that you please go to Mathura, and my expansion, Sankarshan, is there in the womb of Devaki. You please transfer that child from the womb of Devaki into the womb of Rohini, who is residing in Gokul. Now this is something which had never been done earlier. Child transfer. We have never heard, we have never seen in the scriptures also. So even Yogmaya was bewildered, like how to do? So at that time Lord Krishna says, think of me, meditate on me and perform this task. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, Mam anusmara yudhyacha. Think of me and fight. So it is very important to be conscious of Krishna while doing our services. Sometimes we should take out time in between and ask, why am I doing this seva? Is it really seva, or am I just trying to massage my false ego? We should ask these questions to ourselves. We have to always be thinking of Krishna at the back of our mind. I would like to give the example of a household wife who has an extramarital affair. There is a wife who has a husband, who has a mother-in-law, and then she is also, let's say, got attached to a paramour, a lover. So when she is in that situation, she becomes extra careful. She works very nicely. She serves the husband and the mother-in-law so nicely that they don't get any doubt. The perfection of her work becomes more perfect. But in the back of her mind, she is always thinking of the paramour. So although in the material analogy, this looks very degraded and something which we should never even think about. But in the spiritual perspective, this is the highest stage of existence. We have to do all our duties very perfectly, but in the back of our mind, we have to be always thinking of Krishna. Mam anusmara yudhyacha. Think of me and fight. Think of me and fight can have many meanings. That fight for me. Offer the results of your fight to me. Try to serve someone who is fighting for me. It can have many levels of understanding. But Mam anusmara. So Yogmaya was ordered to think of me and perform this duty. So she said Om as the sign of confirmation. She circumambulated Krishna, and very successfully she transferred Balram from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. And Rohini, all of a sudden, she becomes pregnant. And this is not like first day pregnancy, this is like a 9th month pregnancy. Everybody was surprised. How did this happen? At that time, Garg comes and informs that this is Dev Maya. This is by the will of the Lord, and this child, because Rohini is a chaste woman, this child belongs to Vasudeva. And everybody accepted what Garg said. Now, the soldiers were going and telling Kamsa that looks like the demigods have changed the numbering. They said 8th, but looks like they have come in the 7th one. We see all divine qualities in Devaki. But then next day they go and inform Kamsa, miscarriage हो गया, अच्छा हो गया. आज कुछ है ही नहीं, कुछ effulgence नहीं है, कुछ stomach is not protruded and she is miscarriage हो गया. Kamsa was like, miscarriage भी होता है भगवान का, समझ में नहीं आ रहा. तो he was relaxed that ठीक है यार, now again everything is postponed for the next 1.5 years, no problem. But something very strange happened. This is for you to take note that the age difference, how much is the difference between Balram Purnima and Janmashtami? How many days difference? 9 days. Yeah. So on the 9th day of miscarriage, again Devaki became pregnant and fully pregnant. So therefore the age difference between Balram and Krishna is 9 days, and on the 9th day, the Krishna book and the Bhagavatam describes how Krishna appeared. Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam. Only someone who is residing in the super excellent quality of pure goodness, only in their hearts Krishna will come. So Krishna comes in the mind of Vasudeva first. That means his mind was surcharged with all divine qualities. He was completely fixed up. Vasudeva consciousness means Krishna consciousness. And from the mind of Vasudeva, Krishna went into the heart of Vasudeva. Now this is not just a story, this has a very scientific relevance in our lives also. It is said that the seed of the child, which is carried in the potent semen of a father, comes from the heart. And what is there in the heart, the chitta, depends on what is there in the mind. So therefore, according to the scientific Garbhadan Samskaras of the Vedic literature, it is important that the couple should have a divine consciousness before uniting. The kind of consciousness which the father and the mother have, that decides the quality of the progeny. So just to show the scientific relevance of Garbhadan Samskar, Krishna did this. First he went in the mind of Vasudeva, and the mind became Krishna conscious. Then he went to the heart, and from the heart he entered the womb of Devaki. Although in Krishna's pastime, it was not like an ordinary birth, It was not like an ordinary pregnancy. All of a sudden she became pregnant, and all of a sudden, in fact, pregnancy happens when union happens. So even without union, this pregnancy had happened. Krishna is trying to show that I can come in whichever way I want. As Kapil Muni, I will come through seminal injection. As Varahadev, I will come from the nose of Brahma. As Krishna, I will come without seminal injection also. Just to show that I am beyond the laws of material nature. Krishna will come in whichever way he wants. Nobody should have any objection. That is what Krishna is trying to say through his pastimes. This I heard from one devotee. I asked him that why is this happening? How is this? Why is he doing like this? In some incarnations he comes in this way, in some incarnations. The devotee explained to me that is to show you that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then Krishna then appeared, and without any labor pains, Devaki gave birth to the child. I think we are already in the 3rd chapter now. Let me see if I have missed anything. Yeah. Yes, I think we can continue. So, Devaki appeared to have a miscarriage, and again she became pregnant. Again the news went to Kamsa, and Kamsa became negatively Krishna conscious. Kamsa was so obsessed with the appearance of Krishna that when he used to see the mirror, he used to see a body without the head. And then he used to see the image of Krishna. Because all this killing in Vrindavan was happening, and he was getting descriptions how Krishna looks like. So he was imagining Krishna is here. When he used to drink water, he used to see the face of Krishna in the water. When he used to sleep, he used to see Krishna in his dreams. So in one way, 24/7, Kamsa was thinking about Krishna. That is why at the time of death, he was also thinking of Krishna. And that is why the Bhagavatam describes he got Swarup Siddhi. He got a 4-armed form after being killed by Krishna. But we should not get inspired by Kamsa. We should try to render pure devotional service. Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada has defined pure devotional service very nicely in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Anya abhilashita shunyam jnana karmadya anavratam anukulyena Krishna anushilanam bhaktir uttamam. So one should have no other desire other than pleasing Guru and Krishna. Anya abhilashita shunyam. And our bhakti should be free of the influence of jnana and karma. When we do some karma, karma means fruitive mentality. Karmis means, proper karmi means I will do very hard work in this life and in my next life I will enjoy nicely. Kali Yuga people who are working hard, they are not even karmis because they want instant enjoyment. I have done this, so next day result should come. That is why Prabhupada used to scold Iskcon devotees in his time, that you people are worse than karmis. Proper karmi means I have done a tapasya in this life, and in this life I want no sense gratification. Just like Ekadashi is there, no? Today I will not eat grains. Full day I will fast. Tomorrow don't ask what I will do. So proper karmis are like that. In this life I will do full tapasya, full all the vratas on all things I will follow with the desire to enjoy in the next life. So bhakti should not be done like that. That I am doing this Ekadashi, so this result I should get. I went to the dham, so now this result I should get. I give this much charity on the day of Dwadashi. I called some people and fed them, so now I should get. I did Putrada Ekadashi, now Putra only should come. This kind of mentality should not be there in bhakti. And bhakti should be devoid of jnana also. Jnana means, the aim of jnana is liberation from the cycle of birth and death. After that it could be merging or it could be anything else also. Brahmavad and others also. So we should not perform bhakti. See, we should, Prabhupada says, go back home, back to Godhead. But our bhakti should not be motivated by the desire to get rid of our problems. Sometimes we misunderstand what Prabhupada says. I have so many problems in my life. My relatives don't talk to me properly. My spouse misbehaves with me. My children, they have made a fool out of me, and my body has so many diseases. Krishna, ab le chalo. My dear Lord, when you will take me back, please take care of me. I'm chanting 16 rounds every day. This world is a toilet. Dukhalayam, ashashvatam, anityam, asukham. I don't want to stay here. So in this kind of approach, the central agenda is not bhakti. The central agenda is not Krishna. The central agenda is that I want to escape the miseries of the material world. So Rupa Goswami says your bhakti should not be influenced by the desire of escaping suffering or by the desire of getting something because of the practice of bhakti. And also Adi. Adi means things like astrology, pranayam, yoga, etc., etc., etc. We should not become over-obsessed with astrology also. Astrology should be referred to only in few circumstances, when a child is born or when some auspicious samskara, like Vivah samskara has to be formed. Only in certain occasions we should refer to astrology. Not that every day trying to understand how is my astrology. That also will kill your bhakti. So jnana karmadhi anavratam anukulena Krishna anushilanam. One has to render service with a desire to please Krishna. Anushilanam means following in the footsteps or the directions which the acharyas have given. You cannot do bhakti on your own whims and fancies. Now I'll give you an example. This is a temple hall. Anything which is done in the temple hall gives you sukriti, correct? Suppose you clean the temple hall, it gives you credit, devotional credits. But let's say this temple hall has become very dirty. I call professional cleaners to come here. And they come and clean this temple hall. Is that pure devotional service? Why?
But they expect something in return. Monitoring.
Okay. But let's say they said that, theek hai, you people are nice, we will do it for free for you. I like you, I love you, I will do it for free. You are my neighbor.
Krishna was what is center, right?
Yes. These cleaners, they did not clean the hall with a desire to please Krishna. But when we clean the hall, we do it thinking that this hall, this temple is the body of Krishna. Doing abhishekam for Krishna or cleaning the temple hall is absolute. So with that, with a desire to please Krishna, we are cleaning the temple hall. That is pure devotional service. But the cleaners coming and cleaning it is devotional service, not pure devotional service. So anukulena Krishna anushilanam. The desire is to give happiness to Krishna. And that happiness should come, and we should be also desiring to give happiness. These wrestlers in the Kamsa's arena, when they were fighting with Kamsa, Krishna was feeling very happy. Maza aa raha hai, lado. But these wrestlers, Shal, Toshal, Koot, Chanur, Mushtik, they had no desire to please Krishna. Krishna was himself getting pleased. Veera Rasa. So that is devotional service, but not pure devotional service. Pure devotional service means you do something with a desire to please Krishna, and it should actually please Krishna also. There are some people who have given up the Guru Parampara, given up their spiritual master, and they are directly going and trying to serve Krishna. So that will not please Krishna. They are doing devotional service on their whims and fancies. So therefore Rupa Goswami added Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. You have to follow in the footsteps of the previous acharyas, and you have to be connected to a Guru Parampara. And what they do, you have to follow. You can't decide to what to do on your own. I had a friend from Bangladesh. He used to say, Krishna is my friend. And when he used to offer bhoga, he used to open the altar, and from the same plate he used to eat. Sakhya rasa. Now that person is not chanting also. So because he was not following the scriptural rules and regulations, he was not doing it the way acharyas have taught. But that is Uttama Bhakti. So, this whole discussion of Uttama Bhakti came. What was the link? Why I started describing Uttama Bhakti? I forgot, I'm sorry. Kamsa? Yes. So Kamsa is not a pure devotee. He has achieved Swarupa Siddhi by the will of Krishna, by the mercy of Krishna. Because he was Krishna conscious in a negative way. But we should not become negatively Krishna conscious. So anyways, Krishna has now appeared. The acharyas say first Krishna appeared in his original form. The two-handed, perfect Swarup Siddha form. But then just to give confidence to Devaki and Vasudev that I am the Supreme Personality of God, he assumed the four-handed form. Srila Prabhupada, when he writes the commentary to this verse, he says that Devaki also gave birth to Krishna, and Yashoda also gave birth to Krishna. That's what Prabhupada writes. In the Krishna book, he doesn't write this, but in the 10th canto commentary, he writes this. That parallelly, Yashoda had also given birth to Krishna. So Krishna can appear anywhere, right? In any number of forms he can appear. Just like in Dwarka, he simultaneously exists in 16,108 palaces. So similarly, he can simultaneously appear in various places also. Some acharyas say that Krishna first appeared as the son of Yashoda, and then he transferred himself from there and appeared as the son of Devaki, and then he assumed the four-handed form, and then 29 verses when Devaki and Vasudev express their prayers. After that, he again assumes the two-handed form and again goes back to Yashoda. This is also the commentary of some. Sanatana Goswami only speaks like this. So, Krishna has taken birth, has appeared, the birthless has appeared, and immediately the parents are very concerned now. They are thinking, just like the other 6 children, he will also be killed. Devaki is thinking, I hope this child will not start crying. Because if he cries, the soldiers will inform Kamsa. So she immediately starts feeding him milk. Child should not cry. So, and then she's thinking, this is the four-armed form. Who will not recognize him as the Supreme Lord? And then Vasudev is bewildered or amazed to see that form. And then Devaki is also amazed to see that form. their Vatsalya becomes affected by Aishwarya Bhav to see the four-handed form of the Lord. And then they started praying to Krishna as if he was God. I mean, he is God, but they started praying to him as God. So this is the difference between Vraja Bhakti and the devotees who are there in Dwarka, Mathura, etc. In Dwarka or Mathura, Krishna will lift the Sudarshan Chakra once, and all Vatsalya and all Sakhya will go down, and everybody will fall at the feet of Krishna and start chanting Brahma Samhita. That is Dwarka and Mathura. But no matter what pastimes Krishna does in Vrindavan, the devotional mood or the devotional relationships which devotees have with Krishna, that never changes. In fact, Krishna becomes very humble in Vrindavan. He will just kill a demon, or he will chastise Kaliya very nicely. He will dance on the hoods of Kaliya. Glorious feat. And by his footstep movements and by his musical dance, he has bewildered Gandharvas also. And then he starts playing flute also. And after that, when he comes out of the river, nobody falls at the feet of Krishna. In fact, they ask him, did you jump on your own or did Kaliya pull you in? And how we are going to treat you depends on your answer. That is Vrindavan. No matter what Krishna does, whether it is very small or very big, they just want to serve Krishna, not because Krishna is God, but because they love him unconditionally, unmotivatedly, and uninterruptedly. Their love for Krishna is so great that they forget themselves. That is Vraja Bhakti. And that is not seen anywhere else. So here, the Vatsalya of Nanda and Yashoda is Shuddha Vatsalya. But the Vatsalya of Devaki and Vasudev becomes Aishwarya Yukta Vatsalya when they see the four-handed form of Krishna. And that four-handed form is described. It's unbelievable. It's beyond our imagination, beyond our description, but it is described in Bhagavatam. So Devaki and Vasudev, they pray that you please assume a normal form, otherwise who cannot recognize you? So on the prayers of Devaki and Vasudev, he assumes again the original Shyama Sundar baby form. And then he orders Vasudev that, okay, now you please take me from here to Gokul. And then very nice glorification of Vasudev is done there. I would like to highlight some important points from that pastime. So Vasudev represents pure devotion in circumstances when everything is unfavorable. It is easy to practice Krishna consciousness when everything is favorable. But it is very difficult to practice Krishna consciousness when things are not favorable. In a climate of doubt and criticism, it's very difficult to practice bhakti. The whole world was criticizing Vasudev. You being a Kshatriya, on the day of marriage you could not save your wife. After that, you could not save all the Yadava clans. After that, all your other family members were imprisoned. After that, you are such a worthless Kshatriya that your children are killed in front of you and you are still alive. This was the kind of criticism he was daily hearing. And in that situation of very low self-esteem, Krishna offers him an mission impossible. He says, you please pick me up from here and take me to Gokul. His neck is chained, his hand is chained, his waist is chained, his leg is chained. So much so that he cannot even walk fast. And in that situation, Krishna is telling that you take me from here. There are 16 doors to the gate of this prison. And on each door there are very strong guards, very nice mechanism of stone and slab, If any theft or dacoity is happening, it will just snap and kill the person. And some acharyas say there were lions and tigers on each gate also. So Vasudev, when he is ordered to given an instruction, he does not consider whether he is qualified to follow the instruction or not. So he teaches us that this should be our mood. When an instruction comes, if with honesty and sincerity, these two qualities. What are the qualities? Honesty and sincerity. With honesty and sincerity, if we make an attempt to do that service, without worrying about the results, but only thinking of giving pleasure to the superiors and the spiritual masters, in that very moment, empowerment happens. This is the lesson which we learn from this pastime. So as soon as Vasudev went to pick up the child, immediately all the shackles broke. So the acharyas explain that this is not something very great. Anybody who comes in association with the holy names of Krishna, who carries Krishna in their heart and on their tongue, the anarthas or the cycle of birth and death breaks. So if some iron shackles have broken, it is not something great. And then as he is picking up child Krishna and walking towards the gates, all the gates one by one are opening. So acharyas say this is also not something wonderful. For the people who carry the names of Krishna in their heart and in their tongues, the gates of Goloka open. If the gates of a prison have opened, what's the big deal? And all of a sudden, by the influence of Yog Maya, everybody has fallen into sleep. So the acharyas say that one who carries the name of Krishna in their heart and in their tongue, their anarthas go to sleep forever. So what's the big deal if some people also sleep? So like this, the acharyas are glorifying this whole act where Krishna is being carried by Vasudeva. Krishna Vahe. I heard a very nice comparison or an analogy in Srila Prabhupada's purport. This is, Prabhupada is describing, while carrying the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead within the core of his heart, Vasudev bore the Lord's transcendently illuminating effulgence, and thus he became as bright as the sun. He was therefore very difficult to see or approach through sensory perception. Indeed, he was unapproachable and unperceivable even for such formidable men as Kamsa, and not only Kamsa but also for all other living entities. So if we also carry Krishna in our heart, and if we also in our minds carry desire to serve Krishna, desire to spread the Krishna consciousness, what to speak of obstacles like Kamsa, even the biggest obstacles of the universe, will not be able to touch us or even see us. That is why I often say that when it comes to preaching, it's not about content, and it's not about technique, and it's not about your talent or skill. At the end of the day, preaching depends on your desire or attitude and your purity. That's all. The degree to which I have a desire to enjoy this material world, to that degree my progress in Krishna consciousness is checked. And to that degree, whatever actions I do or whatever words I say become ineffective when it comes to preaching. So the more I follow the instructions of the acharyas, that is chanting, following regulative principles, having a morning program, to that degree I become pure. And the degree to which I become pure, purity means sincerity and honesty, that's all. One who is honest and sincere can become a servant. Those who are not honest and not sincere, they cannot serve. So preaching is about purity. Someone may say, Prabhu, I can get rid of so many things, but how to get rid of enviousness? Can enviousness be can we get rid of enviousness through sadhana? At least Prabhupada writes in his purports that yes, one can come on the platform of non-enviousness by performing honest and sincere sadhana by the mercy of devotees. So therefore, we have to become honest and sincere, have the purity of conduct, have the purity of purpose, and have a right attitude to serve. Irrespective of the content, the timing and the technique, everything will work. That is why Srila Prabhupada used to say, give me 8 pure devotees and in 18 days I will take over the whole planet. That is the power of pure devotion. So just like Vasudeva is carrying Krishna, nothing can approach him. Nothing can distract him. Nothing can disturb him. Even Kamsa cannot approach him at this moment. Similarly, if we also in our minds and heart, if we carry Krishna, nothing can come in our way when it comes to serving Srila Prabhupada's mission. It may be possible that 8 of us sitting here in this hall can take over the whole Bangalore city and make it Krishna conscious. In fact, why I say that, why just Bangalore, why just this planet? No, we should plan to make the whole universe Krishna conscious. It is possible. If somebody is very serious about becoming honest and sincere in their practice of Krishna consciousness, there is no limit to which they can serve Krishna. There is no limit. And Vasudeva is showing that. There is no limit. He is shackled, but he broke the shackles. High security, but the security got flawed. Everybody went to sleep. That is the power of serving Krishna. I would like to end here by one small observation. Very nicely, our acharyas are describing that as and when Vasudeva Maharaj was getting out, he was becoming more and more blissful and cheerful. Now, I'd like to compare this instance to the condition of the volunteers of Janmashtami. In all circumstances, headache will always be there. Anxiety will always be there. If Vasudeva had been ordered that without Krishna you go out and you do this, go cross Yamuna, go to Gokul, he would have had a great headache. But because he took this headache for serving Krishna, the Bhagavatam says he was becoming more and more blissful and cheerful with each and every step which he was making. And please take note, each and every step was further challenged also. Nobody put a rose carpet outside the prison. It was raining very heavily. It was completely dark. There was an overflooded Yamuna river. And he didn't know where to go, how to go. And how impractical is this instruction? Go to someone's house, there they have given birth to a child, you put me there and bring that child here. As if they are waiting, haan aake le lo. So sometimes we get instructions which seem very impractical and impossible. Our failure is that we don't have faith in the words of our teachers, spiritual masters and the Guru Parampara. If somebody has faith, anything is possible. That is what Vasudeva is trying to say. So headache is unavoidable in this material world. If we are engaged in sense gratification and if we take headache for sense gratification and Maya, it is miserable. But if we take headache for serving Krishna, it is very blissful. The most blissful headache is to take headache to serve Krishna in this Janmashtami. How many of you are ready to take that headache? Please raise your hand. Some of you are not raising your hand. Do you want that headache or not? Yes, everybody has told. There is a camera here. So, why it is raining? It is raining because, as I said, demigods, they want to help the devotees. So when Indra saw that Vasudeva is carrying the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his hand, he immediately sent rains. Because when it is raining, you can't see properly, you can't hear properly, no one goes out, no one goes in. People prefer to sleep after eating gobi pakoda when it is raining. So everybody was feeling like that. Also, when you walk, sometimes the footprints remain or the footsteps can be heard. So Indra wanted to wipe out all. He was helping Vasudeva. He was in a desire to serve Vasudeva. However, these are some of the external reasons why it was raining. Srila Jiva Goswami gives some internal reasons why it was raining. The clouds were thinking that once in 8.64 billion years, the Supreme Lord comes. Sometimes he takes the greenish form, sometimes he takes a whitish form, sometimes he is the Supreme Lord, he can take any form. This time he has taken our color. The clouds are thinking he has Navina Nirada. Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes Krishna as Navina Nirada, fresh monsoon rain cloud color. So they are so happy. They belong to our category. They have our color. So they are showering rains like anything. Another reason which the Acharyas say is that they are remembering the eternal instruction of Krishna. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tad aham bhaktya uparitam ashnami prayatatmanaha. The clouds are thinking we cannot give leaves, we cannot give flowers, we cannot give fruit. But we have devotion and we have water. And also, a newborn baby, when he comes out from the womb of the mother, needs to be given a bath. Due to emergency situation, without giving bath, out of maternal anxiety, Devaki had fed milk to the Lord, but he has not got a bath. So it is our duty to give the first Abhishekam. So the first Abhishekam was being done to the Lord. And it was in a musical environment it was being done. So the clouds are giving water, the demigods are doing Abhishekam. First Abhishekam is being done. And another reason is being given that ocean is the father of Lakshmi. And all the clouds, they come from ocean. So ocean is thinking that my son-in-law has appeared. I can't go there. So I will send my representatives to offer some water as respect from my side. Samsara dava nala leedha loka. The same verse, our daily Mangalarti also says. What is the second? Samsara dava nala leedha loka. Pranaya karunya ghana ghanatvam praptasya. Okay. So spiritual, Krishna is compared to Karuna Sindhu. But the Karuna Sindhu cannot go everywhere. So he sends Guru, who is like the mercy cloud, who takes water from the Karuna Sindhu and comes to the conditioned soul and drops it on them, bathes them in the mercy of Krishna. So that activity is being referred here. That all the spiritual masters, they are very happy. And they are, just like Krishna sends his mercy through spiritual masters, ocean has sent his greetings through these clouds. So these kind of various analogies are being given. And Anant Shesh is following Vasudeva. Anant Shesh did not decide to come in front of Vasudeva because he was afraid that if by seeing me, very recently, someone sent me a news article where a 12-foot king cobra was rescued in Bangalore only. How much will be 12 feet? People are of 6 feet. Imagine 12 feet and how fat that snake would be. And if it is there, let's say in your garden, how will you feel? So multiply this 12 feet into 12,000 and add some extra hoods. Ananta Shesh. Imagine one day you are coming out of your house chanting Hare Krishna and Anand Shesh comes in front of you. What is the first thing which you will say and what is the first thing which you will do? Tell me. Mataji is saying the first thing which she will say is Hare Krishna. And what is the first thing which you will do? You will go and hug Anand Shesh. Correct, no? The moment you will see Anand Shesh, you will die out of fear. Imagine a snake whose hoods are going up to the Dhruva star. And that snake with reddish eyes is looking at you and bending towards you. Enough, game is over. So Anand Shesh did not want to disturb Vasudev's meditation, so he was following Vasudev. Prabhupada describes that Anand Shesh was thinking that when I had to be transferred from Mathura to Gokul, Krishna ordered his Yog Maya Shakti to do it. But when he wants to go, he is the Swarat Supreme Bhagwan Parmeshwar. He could have gone on his own, but he is taking help of a devotee. This devotee Vasudev seems to be more responsible and reliable than Yogmaya also. Let me serve this devotee. So Anant Shesh was walking in the footsteps of Vasudev, becoming the servant of the servant with a desire to please Krishna. So that should be our mood in Janmashtami. Whenever we see someone performing seva, whenever we see somebody taking some accountability, responsibility with honesty and sincerity, instead of becoming an obstacle in their service or instead of becoming passive in our approach to help, we should try to become a servant of the servant. Then we will get Vasudev consciousness. Of course, the katha continues, but we'd like to pause here. We have discussed the advent of Krishna and we have discussed the birth of Krishna. And the most important highlight of this session, which I will again highlight, is one single line, which is the mood of our Janmashtami. That mood is, quoting Srila Prabhupada, a devotee is not eager to get relieved from his distress. A devotee is not eager to be freed from his distress, but is anxious to see Krishna. That means in the process of serving Krishna, in the process of seeing Krishna, there will be a lot of distress. One has to go through it, one has to grow through it. And this is the mood of our Janmashtami. Always keep the sacrifices of Devaki and Vasudeva in your mind. To see Krishna, to get Krishna, how much sacrifice they did. Are we ready to take some headache? Are we ready to make some sacrifices? This will define our attitude, and this will define our purity and sadhana, and this will define whether this Janmashtami, whether we are actually being able to welcome Krishna in our life or not. So with this, I would like to conclude today's discussion. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.